are strange winged beings that, from the perspective of an ancient astronaut theorist like myself, clearly represent extraterrestrial visitors. Number 6 in our countdown, the Gate of the Sun. Bolivia, 1549. While searching for the southern capital of the Inca Empire, Spanish conquistador Pedro Cieza de Leon comes upon a mysterious sight, a vast, abandoned city near the shore of Lake Titicaca that the locals call Tiwanaku. The ruined city contains temples, huge megalithic structures, and vast ceremonial buildings.
Tiwanaku was huge. It spanned for miles and miles and had a population of perhaps as many as 20,000 people.
Among Tiwanaku's most impressive ruins is a terrace mound called Pumapunku, containing dozens of stone blocks cut with extraordinary precision. And at the opposite end of the complex, at the entrance to a large sunken plaza, stands a giant carved doorway called the Gate of the Sun. Cut and shaped from a single andesite stone, the massive monolith is 10 feet tall, 13 feet wide, and weighs more than 10 tons.
The Gate of the Sun is the icon of Tiwanaku, if not for all of South America, and it is an amazing sculpture. It's carved with some very elaborate iconography.
It features the Inca god Viracocha, who's the god of creation, who's portrayed as a sort of a humanoid figure with rays coming off his head. Viracocha was the primary deity of the Andes, going back many thousands of years. He was thought to be the founder of all the ancient sites we see in Peru and Bolivia today, including Tiwanaku, Cusco, Sacsayhuaman, Machu Picchu, and many others. When European explorers rediscovered the monolithic doorway in the 19th century, it was lying flat on the ground and broken into 2 pieces. Today, it stands where it was found, but many archaeologists believe this is not its original location.
It's standing there, and we all know it's not where it used to be. Its architecture and the way the stone is cut in these right angles, the only other place in all of Tiwanaku that we see that is Pumapunku.
Pumapunku is one of the most enigmatic places on planet Earth. Some of the stone blocks are over 100 metric tons at an altitude of almost 13,000 feet. And the legend is that this place was built by the so-called gods. Is it possible that Pumapunku was built by otherworldly beings, as legend suggests? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and believe further clues can be found by taking a closer look at the depiction of Viracocha carved on the Gate of the Sun and the strange beings that surround him. Viracocha is flanked with 48 winged beings. Now, why would these beings have wings attached to them? Well, because our ancestors tried to signify flight. What I think is depicted on the Gate of the Sun is a type of a celestial pantheon, suggesting that whoever came and imparted knowledge at Tiwanaku and Pumapunku were beings that had a celestial connection, meaning they came from the sky. We're nearly halfway through our countdown of the top 10 mysterious monoliths. And while the monuments we have investigated so far are tall standing stones, archaeologists have also discovered monoliths that are perfectly round. At number 5, the stone spheres. Civitavici, Bosnia, 2016. Archaeologist Dr. Sam Usmanagic and a small team of researchers are hiking along the Boston River when they spot what appears to be an enormous stone sphere hidden in the forest floor.
We started clearing it, realizing that it was huge, monumental in size. Once we cleared almost all of it, we've done the measurements. It is more than 3 meters in diameter. The specific weight, 37 tons. So, this was the largest stone sphere discovery in the world.
While the giant stone sphere in Bosnia is impressive, it is not unique.
From Kansas to Kazakhstan, we find these stone spheres. Some of them are massive, and the key thing that links all of them is this incredible mystery about how were they created, why were they created, and ultimately what is their purpose.
What compelled ancient people to create monoliths in the shape of spheres? Ancient astronaut theorists suggest clues can be found by examining a discovery made deep in the jungles of Central America. In the 1930s, workers in Costa Rica found hundreds of giant stone spheres.
About 300 have been discovered so far. Some of them are huge, between 8 and 9 feet tall and wide. They look like they're created in a machine.
Archaeologists believe that the Diki civilization carved the spheres with simple stone tools, and they are thought to be at least 1,000 years old. But just what purpose did they serve?
We do not know the original location of most of these spheres. You start to wonder, what if we could go back in time and see the exact location of all the spheres? What would they show? Would they show a pattern? Would they show a constellation map? Would they be like the Nazca lines, like a pattern that you could only see from above?
How and why Costa Rica's monolithic spheres were created has been lost to history. But ancient astronaut theorists suggest that local legends reveal a connection to otherworldly beings.
One very interesting explanation for the Costa Rica spheres is that they were created by Tara, the god of thunder, who used some sort of a blowpipe to shoot these spheres out of the pipe in order to push back hurricanes. Ancient astronaut theory says that within legends like this, there's often a kernel of truth. And so you have to wonder, is this a calling card from some extraterrestrial entity, a sky god, Tara, with some sort of message? The fact that our ancestors created such perfectly round spheres is truly fascinating. And even more intriguing is a collection of huge monoliths that are not only round, but are also carved with mysterious human features. At number 4 on our countdown of the top 10 mysterious monoliths, the colossal heads.
Tres Zapotes, Mexico. 1938. Smithsonian archaeologist Matthew Sterling makes a remarkable find. He discovers a colossal stone head buried in the ground. Over the next few years, 16 more heads are discovered, partially buried at 4 locations in Mexico, including 10 in San Lorenzo and 4 in La Venta. These monolithic statues are carved from basalt and vary in height from nearly 5 feet to over 11 feet tall, the largest weighing approximately 50 tons. Archaeologists believe the stone heads are some 3,000 years old and were created by the Olmecs.
The Olmecs, they're often called the mother culture of Mesoamerica. They are the first complex culture of any size and significance in that part of the world.
For decades, archaeologists assumed the colossal stone heads were carved to honor important figures in Olmec society. But just who they depict has been the source of debate among researchers.
The controversy is that many of the beautifully carved statues and stelae seem to show African men.
They appear to be not native to the New World, but are native to sub-Saharan Africa. This is not scientific physical anthropology, but just the appearance of these things is pretty suggestive.
possible that the Olmec stone heads are a record of ancient visitors who traveled thousands of miles to central Mexico? According to ancient astronaut theorists, these monoliths might serve a more profound purpose. And as evidence, they point to research done by a team of scientists at Harvard, Yale, and MIT that revealed the colossal stone heads have unusual magnetic properties.
The Olmec were craftsmen at finding these magnetic fields in basalt rock. And they would actually hunt down large stones, take it back and carve it into heads. And they were so precise with knowing where the magnetic fields were that they actually carved around these anomalies.
When we look at how the ancients were selecting certain stones that were magnetic or had certain energies, we wonder how they could know about all of the properties of these stones. Are they getting this information from extraterrestrials?
Could it be that the ancient people of Mesoamerica received instructions to sculpt these giant basalt heads from extraterrestrial visitors? But if so, why? According to ancient astronaut theorists, they may have been designed for data storage.
Certain stones like basalt hold a magnetic field and can be magnetized. A basalt stone could actually act like a hard disk for a computer. When we look at how we store information today, we have to understand that an extraterrestrial civilization might approach this from a different angle. So is it possible that extraterrestrials have embedded ancient sacred knowledge in statues or in monuments? And if we are able to extract this information, there could be a wealth of information ready, waiting at our fingertips.
Running through the countryside of northwestern France are thousands of standing stones that are aligned in perfectly straight rows. And while their purpose is unknown, some believe they were part of a long-lost technology. At number 3 on our countdown of the top 10 mysterious monoliths, the Karnak stones.